Whoosh! Hello BookTube! Today I have something special that I've never done before. It is a book haul. A lot of booktubers do monthly book hauls, and I think that would be a little overwhelming and honestly a little boring if I started doing monthly videos. I do a lot of monthly things on my blog, so if you want to check that out, you can go over to thelittledecorator.blogspot.com. It's in the link below. And I want to just be crazy and be free with my booktube videos and really do whatever I want. But because of Christmas and Thanksgiving and the end of last semester, I got a lot of books and I realized I have an entire stack of books that is just waiting to be talked about that I've never discussed on here and that is just brand new and something exciting. So I thought, why not put it all into one video, and hence this book haul. So let's get started. One of the books that I am currently reading, actually, is this one, Move Toward the Mess, and I got this one for free for an honest review, and I will be posting a book review on my blog today or tomorrow, hopefully, depending on when I finish it. It's very short, and there will also be a giveaway, so be sure you go check that out. It will be open. The giveaway will be open for several days. I'm not exactly sure when I'm going to make the deadline, but definitely go check this one out. It is about the Christian life and moving towards unbelievers and just meeting them where they are and not forcing Jesus on them, but just being open to them, listening to their stories, taking care of them, and showing the love of Christ. So that's a great one, and this is just a fun book haul because you get to see a little bit of where I get each book from. So that's an example of getting a book for a review. Another place that I get my books, obviously, is the library. Not everyone includes library books in their book hauls, but I wanted to just because these are two library books that I've gotten. Well, this one I've gotten before and then had to return. And anyway, I just really want to read these this month and hopefully return them on time because the library is probably not very happy with me after some things that happened in November. But I have these books. This one's Quiet by Susan Cain, and it's about the power of introverts in a world that can't stop talking. I'm an ambivert, and I love to talk about Myers-Briggs, but I'd love to explore more about introverts and how they work and operate. A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas, or Moss, or however you say it, is the second in the Court of Thorns and Roses series, or at least A Court of Thorns and Roses is the name of the first book. So I'm curious to read this. It's really thick, and I thought I was going to be able to finish it in 2016, but I had to rush with a bunch of little bitty books at the end of 2016, so I didn't get around to this one. Another place that I actually ended up getting books this year, which I never thought I would get books from here, is the community college that I go to. I got this from my favorite professor of all time, and it's his favorite book. It's Not Without Laughter by Langston Hughes, and he gave it to me as an award for being like his best student ever. And I also got this from the kid who sat in front of me in that history class, and it's A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness, which is a movie in theaters as of this week. So I'm really excited to read this. He was like, this was such a hard book to read. It took me forever to get through it. I had to write notes in the margins. His notes are like really short, and my brother read this actually, this exact copy, and said that the guy who wrote notes in the margins wrote notes like the tree represents a tree and stuff, but I don't know. I'm not taking it too seriously. This is a fun kids book, and I should be able to knock it out in a day because that's how fast I read books. Not really. I don't usually knock out books in a day. Okay, some books that I got for Christmas. Mansfield Park by Jane Austen. This completes my Jane Austen series, and this one was given to me by a friend, and it has teeny tiny little words, and I can't wait to read it all, and it's a nice compact edition that I could like carry with me in my purse. And The Secret Keepers by Trenton Lee Stewart is a book that my parents got me. And it's by the author of The Mysterious Benedict Society, so I'm so pumped to read this. I specially requested it. I also specially requested Heartless by Marissa Meyer. She wrote the Lunar Chronicles, so these are single books by the authors of my two favorite series. So I am so pumped to read these, and they're brand new, and like they paid full price for a book for me, and that just means so much. Another one that I got, this is through Paperback Swap, is The Beekeepers Apprentice by Lori R. King. I've heard some good things about this from Anne Bogle from Modern Mrs. Darcy. So I'm interested to read this. It's kind of based on the Sherlock Holmes series. It's about Mary Russell, who I guess is like an apprentice of Sherlock Holmes. And so, yeah, this will be interesting and different. And I really like the cover. It's really cool. Another book I got through Paperback Swap is The Atonement Child by Francine Rivers. I thought about getting this one when I was at Half Price Books, but unfortunately they didn't have the cover I wanted. This is by the same author of Redeeming Love, and I think it's going to be really good. I don't know, but it's been recommended by a blogger friend, and just, I'm okay with this author. I don't hate her. I just don't, like, I'm not crazy about her. I'm just kind of medium, but I've heard great things about this book, and hopefully it'll be good. And I got the cover I wanted, so that's a plus. Okay, so I went to Half Price Books on their Black Friday sale, and I didn't find anything, and I was really, really sad. But my brother got a movie, and when he bought his movie, they handed him a coupon that said, come back tomorrow and the next day, because we're extending the sale for people who came on Black Friday. So I could come back and get an extended Black Friday. And so I went back and I got a lot of books. I had book money, and I got Agatha Christie's Murder on the Orient Express. I had this book, but it wasn't the cover I wanted, so I got the exact cover that I wanted. So now I have this. They all have a little bit of blue in them. Blink by Malcolm Gladwell is a book that was highly recommended by a very successful person, and he just said that it was really good for, like, life strategy, kind of. The subtitle is The Power of Thinking Without Thinking. I really do enjoy nonfiction books if I feel like they're actually improving me, and I feel like this is a book that will be a great start to 2017. Madeleine L'Engle is one of my favorite authors right now. This is her second book in the Time Quintet series. I have mentioned this briefly. It's called A Wind in the Door, and I can't wait to read it and reread that series. This is a book that I've actually already read, just like Murder on the Orient Express, but I got it at Half Price Books for about $9, which I usually don't spend $9 on a book. But it is the fourth book in the Giver quartet, and most people don't know that the Giver is a quartet, and I appreciate the Giver, the first one, so much more because I read Gathering Blue and The Messenger and Sun, which are the other three books. So if you have only read The Giver, or if you haven't ever read the series, read all 4 books in this series in order, and the world will be so much bigger, and you'll see all these different angles and connections, and it really deserves its own fan base, just like Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings or any other series. The Giver is really good, and I really appreciate this one. Also, my personality type, Myers-Briggs, is called The Giver, so an extra connection there. Those are the books that I got over November, December, January. So let me know in the comments below what books you got, and I hope you had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and let's get started on a bunch of more book videos, yeah? Don't forget, the book was better.